Hi guys, my name is Vanessa and this is my story time of how I went from stripper to OnlyFans model to woman of God to now the business owner of Divine Hair Care. I know that's a lot, okay? It sounds like a lot and it really was a long journey, guys. I'm gonna get ready while I tell you guys this story. So basically, I will start it off from like my childhood. I was raised in a Christian home. I had a young mother. She had me at 15, but she was still very Christian, very much a woman of God and a prophet at church. And so I was raised in a very like strict Christian upbringing. So it was definitely, ironic for me to become a stripper or exotic dancer. I actually never had any plans of doing such things, of course, because of my upbringing. It was something that was severely like looked down upon. But I'm gonna tell you guys how I ended up in that position. So I wanted to go off to college because of how strict my home was. I actually wanted to move like far away so I would not have to deal with that. I wanted to move far away, so I decided that I would go to Florida so I can be free and do whatever I want to do and just go to school there and live my life. And so I moved to Florida. My dad, my stepdad, he said in order for them to pay for my college and tuition that I would have to go for something practical. I wanted to go to beauty school, but at the time he felt like that wasn't like a practical thing to go for, so he didn't want to pay for that. He didn't think it would make me any money, and that it would be a waste of his money at the time. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just pick something to do just so I can leave and go. And I decided that I would go for like nursing school. So I decided that I would go to Tampa. I went to a community college there and decided I would go to nursing school. So I'm going to nursing school, y'all. Well, I'm not in nursing school yet. I'm just taking my basic classes before I decide to transfer to a big university to go to nursing school. I'm going there and it just isn't doing it for me. Like, I've never been like a book person, school person. So it just wasn't working out for me. So I'm like suffering there. I'm like, this is not even what I want to do. Like, I'm wasting my parents' money anyway at this point because I feel like this isn't something I want to do or a career I would like to pursue. So I ended up like, okay, I don't want to go here anymore. Like, what am I going to have to do to be able to still live in Florida and survive? Like, I'm just going to get me a job and go about my life and take care of myself, and like drop out of school. So I didn't drop out of school right away. I still stayed in school to like finish out the year. And I was trying to get a job the whole time. I could not get a job, y'all. I couldn't get a job for anything. Like, I don't know. I guess like it was probably God maybe trying to stop me from going off and doing my own thing, but I couldn't get a job. And I actually ended up having a roommate that was in school, and she had a friend of hers that actually went to school with us as well, and she was like staying in our dorms, and she was an exotic dancer, and she was coming home every night, y'all, with all this money. And I'm like, man, like that's a lot of money. Like, that's the kind of money I need to go out and like go to school for beauty. Like, I can use the money for that to go get my beauty license and everything like that, and I'll be able to start my business, start my new career, do whatever I'm gonna do. So I was considering, but I just kept going back and forth with it because I already knew my upbringing. Like, it wouldn't be something that was good. Like, I know I was gonna really have to like hide it and really like, I don't know, like make up my mind to do something like that. It was really hard for me to make up my mind to do, but it was just got to the point where the end of the school year was coming. Like, I had to make a choice, make my mind up and do what I'm gonna do. So she was telling me like, just come, like it's not that bad. Like, you'll make a lot of money, you're pretty, like you're not gonna have to do a lot. It's not a big deal. So, I mean, eventually I'm like, okay, well, it's not a big deal, it'll be fine. Like, let me go see what it's like. So we went and I don't know, like, well, we drank and everything, you know, prepared ourselves to be a little more out of ourselves, you know, by drinking to be more comfortable to go. And then we went and the first night, she knew a lot of people in there, so she like told them I was coming and everything. And like in the strip club, like when you come as like a new girl, like you just get a lot of attention from like just being new. So I went and I made a lot of money the first night. The first night I went, I made $1,000, and for me at the time that was a lot of money. And I'm like, wow, like I made $1,000. Like I didn't feel like I really did too much. All I did was dance, and it was really with like the same guy because she knew the guy, and like told him like she was bringing me, and we like went and we made all that money. So I'm like, okay, well I guess this isn't so bad. So I started going back, and we would make a lot of money. It was during a time in Tampa that was called drop season, so there was a lot of money because there was a lot of fraud going on, a lot of tax fraud and stuff going on. So there was so much money like just in the club. So that's how I ended up first started dancing, and then I actually ended up meeting a guy in the club. I did not dance that long. It was maybe, if even a year, I don't even know. It might have been like 7 or 8 months that I ended up dancing. And I met this guy in the club, and he really liked me. Also, he would come and just see me all the time, and he would come and spend so much money and just spend thousands of dollars, and I just wouldn't get one. I don't know why. I was just like playing hard to get. I wouldn't get with him. And then eventually, I got with him, and then he took me out the club. We were living like this life, pretty lavish life, honestly, like a life I've never lived before. And at the time I was so young, y'all. I was only like 20, if 19 or 20 years old. And he would like just take me shopping all the time, like take me to the club, take me places, and like I had a driver that would drive me around, and like it was just like this very luxurious life. And I was like loving it, of course, at that age. At first, like I'm like, wow, this is blowing my mind, like this is great. But then like it started getting to a point where all of a sudden he became like very controlling and didn't want me to go out with my friends, didn't want me to go anywhere, like only wanted me to go places with him. Like I was literally like locked in the house, like I didn't have a key to the house, I couldn't go anywhere. And it wasn't something that just happened overnight. It was just slowly, like when you're in a relationship with somebody like that wants to like control you, like do those kind of things, it's like it doesn't happen overnight. It's like they just like this amazing person at first, and then like slowly and gradually they start doing like little things, and it creates until you like wake up one day and you realize like you're like literally in like jail and like living for this person and doing like whatever they say, and like they're controlling everything that goes on like in your life, where you go, what you do. Like I'm not working, of course, because I used to be a dancer. I wasn't dancing anymore, and I was relying on him for everything, and it was just a horrible like place to be. And eventually I just got fed up with that, and I made the decision of telling him like, oh, I'm gonna leave you, which was, I mean, ridiculous. I should have left first. You know, when you're in that kind of situation, you should leave before even telling that person you're gonna leave, because you never know what they're gonna do to you. And so I told him I was gonna leave, and he told me basically that I was not gonna leave. Like, how was I gonna leave? I didn't have a way to leave, and this whole thing. And I was like, well, I'll just leave with nothing. I'll leave, like, I'll walk out the door with nothing. Like, you can have all this stuff, because he basically telling me he made me, he gave me everything I have, and like I don't have nothing. What am I gonna do? Kind of situation. So I'm like, whatever. Like, you can have everything you gave me. And so I caught myself like trying to walk out the house without nothing, y'all. I just was like walking out in my clothes, and I must have made it to the door. I made it to the door, y'all, and he snatched me by my hair and snatched me right back in the house. Like, he snatched me back in the house and, like, dragged me through the house and was, like, just, like, dragging me around the house, like, kicking me, like, grabbing my hair, pulling my hair, hitting me. Like, it was crazy. Like, I couldn't believe it was even happening. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, because I've never seen him, like, do anything like that. He never had took anything to those drastics. And, like, he was telling me how, like, I didn't really love him because I was leaving him and this and that. And he was telling me I couldn't leave. And it was crazy. And I'm like, what? So, literally to where there was, like, a patch in my head because he pulled off my, what did we have at the time? Those, like, little pieces that you sew down, like those lace pieces that you sew down for your part. He pulled that out and then, like, pulled out a chunk of my hair, y'all. And I'm just, like, so bewildered of what was going on.